is I'd like you just to legs extended for this first bit, because I'd like you to feel how your legs feel. So starting with your toes, how do your toes feel? Then moving to your actual feet, do they feel tight on the soles of your feet? Do you feel like the top of your feet feels tight? Do they feel great and really relaxed? If so, brilliant as well, you know? How does your heel feel? Do you feel like one heel feels like it's heavier to the floor than the other heel? And then moving up, same thing for your calves. How do they feel? Do they feel like they're close to the floor or off the floor? What about the backs of your knees? Do you feel the backs of your knees are on the floor or off the floor? Do you feel they feel tight? And then moving up to your thighs, same question. So asking your thighs where they are. And keeping your eyes just partially closed or fully closed for this. So you can just visualize your body inside your mind as you're coming up. As you move up where your legs join your pelvis, does it feel like they're really tangibly connected, or do they feel a little bit disconnected? When you come to your pelvis, do you feel like your pelvis is tilted forwards or backwards or one side more than the other? Again, don't change anything, just be aware. And moving up to your lower back and your rib cage and your shoulders and your arms, moving all the way down to your hands and your palms. And then up through your neck to your head and your eyes. Oh, I just let Joan in. And just take a moment to notice, again, how connected your arms are to your body, etc. Do your eyes feel sore? Do they feel tight? Do they feel fine? And your jaw, how's your jaw? Okay, now taking a moment here, we're just going to do, not worrying about pose or anything, we're just going to do 3 breaths in an apnea, and just take your time, your own breathing. And I'd like you just, as you're breathing, to just be aware if you feel any tension or restriction anywhere as you're breathing. So take 3 nice slow breaths in and slow breaths out. And at the end of the third one, you're going to pause and perform an apnea. And again, just being aware of where if it feels tender or tight or restricted in any way. And just check back in with your jaw when you're doing the apnea. Has it changed? Does it feel tighter than it did before the apnea? Okay. Once you've done that, you're going to roll onto your side, bend your knees and roll onto your side and come up to a sitting position. Now, for this vagus release, we are going to be doing a couple of things with our ears. So I'm going to come a little bit closer to the screen so you can kind of see my face a bit more. So what we're going to be doing first of all is we're going to be taking our finger, and we've got 2 loops in our ears. We've got the first top loop, and then we've got the one underneath that. We're going to go to the corner of the one underneath it, this little kind of indent here, this little well, and we're just going to rub that well. Just kind of give it a little massage, just inside your ear there. That's right. Just this wee bit in here. And if you feel like you want to yawn, allow it to happen. Good. Just take your time. Good, excellent. Yawning is releasing your vagus nerve, so if you need to yawn or want to yawn, brilliant. So once you've done this here for a little bit of time, we're going to take our finger now and we're going to place it in our actual eardrum. We're going to take it, press it towards the right, straight into our ear, and then press to the back wall of our ear, and we're going to feel that tragus, like cartilage that I've talked about. There's a little bit of tight, kind of thicker cartilage at the back of your ear. So you're going in and then pressing back, just a little bit. And you'll find a little bit of kind of cartilage in there that feels different from the rest of the ear. And you're going to rub that. Oh. And again, great. And again, if you're yawning, just let it happen. My trauma release person says never put your hand over your mouth when you're yawning, just allow it out. Which is not how society tells us. So keep going with it, keep rubbing it in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull our ear gently away from our face. Like we're going to pull the bottom of the ear, the top, just pulling it gently away, all the way to the very top. And if you've got particularly tight fascia in your face, you might feel this kind of feeling like it makes popping sounds. And just do it a few times up and down. This is a great way to keep your face for looking younger, seemingly. Who knew? And then from here, we're going to take our finger and we're going to have it behind our ear, and we're going to run it all the way down the path of our vagus, as far as we can take it. So around the back of our ear and down. And in a moment, I'm going to get you to notice how this side of your face now feels compared to the other. But let's just finish through this. We're going to do it another couple of times. So really allowing, really rubbing, really stroking, I guess is a better word. Stroke behind your ear. This bit, the bumpy bit at the back of your ear, is where the vagus nerve, it's the only place the vagus innervates the surface, the sensory stuff. So you feel that kind of bump behind your ear. That's the vagus nerve that you're feeling. And then release, and just feel how that side of your face feels compared with the other. Hopefully it feels a little bit warmer, or maybe a little bit more awake. So let's take the finger for the other side. And again, we're going in, not the first loop of our ear here, but the second one. There's a second loop. And we're just rubbing at the back there. And again, this is getting to our vagus nerve. If you feel at any point stressed or upset or anxious, this is a great way to just release all of that. If you've got gut issues, it's great for that too, because the vagus nerve sends most of its stuff up from the gut to the brain and things, but this is a great way to signal down the way. And again, if you feel like you want to yawn. Good. And then we're going to take our finger and place it into our eardrum, like in, towards the back, and then press towards the rear of the eardrum. And on this side, my cartilage feels a lot more prominent than the other side. There's probably a reason for that. I don't know what it is though. Can't help you with that. But again, if you need to yawn, yawn. And my trauma release trainer used to say, like, if you're not yawning, fake it. Fake it till you make it. So it starts to release your vagus nerve even if you're faking it. Oh, yeah, good. Nice faking, liking it. Good. Then we're going to pull the ear away from our face and move all the way up. And then all the way down. We'll just do this a few times. This is where waking up what's called the trimangeal nerve, which is the nerve that feeds all into your face near the surface as a sensory nerve, but it's also helping to remove any restrictions for your vagus nerve. And then we're going to give our vagus nerve a stroke. So down the back of your ear, all the way down. Good. Good, round the back and down. Perfect. And let's do another few, just because it's nice. Right, so now, checking in with your face. Hopefully your face feels the same on both sides now, and I've not left you a little bit unbalanced. Now we're going to do our neck. So first of all, I'd like you to just look over one shoulder, and then look over the other shoulder, and just notice if you feel any restrictions or it feels tight. And then we're going to take one of our hands, and we're going to place it on the back of our head. So I'll show you here. It's probably better if I show you this way around, actually. So it's like we're trying to lift the head away from the neck. And then we're going to take this other hand, and I'll swap hands over this, so maybe, oh no, move this way. And we're going to sponge it. So we're squeezing it like it's a sponge. Good. And we're still keeping that lift. And then we can turn our head slightly to the side. So we can look over to one side. And we can look over to the other side. Still thinking about lifting it away a little bit. And again, this is releasing any tension in our neck. We can look up. We can look down. Good. And a little bit more, maybe looking straight ahead and doing a little bit here. Just sponging down your neck. And again, this is another way to get rid of any stress in your shoulders and your neck and your head. And then release. And now look over your shoulder again and just feel, of course, and just feel if it feels any different. I could do with a bit longer for that side, but we've got what we have today. So we're going to come to standing now. We're going to do some shoulder release and rib release. So that's our next things. Okay, so now we've released our neck and our vagus nerve. So now we're going to come to standing and we're going to do some nice shoulder release. So the first thing we're going to do is just pull our shoulders up towards our ears and then drop them down.
up towards your ears. The old faithful, this one, drop them down. One more, drop them down. Then we're going to take our hand and we're going to place it over our head, so it's on the opposite ear. And we're going to just allow our head to drop towards the arm side. Then we're going to reach the other one away and we're just going to release shoulders this way. Good. So reaching away with your fingertips and then releasing. Same thing on the other side. Hand comes up, comes over. Allow the head to fall that way and reach. Get rid of any tension between the neck and the shoulder. And then release. Good. And then I learned this new one, which is like an old one. So we're going to take our hand, so I'll show you closer to the camera. So you're going to take your hand, you're going to rest your head on this hand, you're going to reach this hand away, and then you're going to move your head up and you're going to bring the hand around. And then you're going to bring it back, so I'm resting, still reaching this hand away, and then I'm going to bring my head up to neutral as I bring my hand around. This is a nice nerve glide. Let's do one more. Hands here, resting it, and then bring my head up to neutral as I bring my hand around. Good. Let's do the other side. So same thing, resting, reaching, head up to neutral as I bring my hand round. And one more. Let's do two more actually, so we're even. And head back to neutral as I bring my hand round. And another one. And head to neutral as I bring my hand round. Excellent. And then we're just going to swing, like we're little kids. Good. So I'd like you to bring your arms up, swing them. Arms up, swing them. Good. Swing. Swing. Finding space in your shoulders. And then we're going to go across our body. Perfect. Good. And back to swinging. And then let them drop. Just nice and slowly. So now we've released the neck and the shoulders, we're going to move to the rib cage. So for the rib cage, what we're going to do for today's one is we're going to twist round. So we're going to do our twisting. So feet hip distance apart, hands on our ribs. And we're going to twist round one way. And as we twist, we're going to use that hand to gently squeeze and massage the ribs. So whichever way we're twisting towards, squeeze your ribs. Almost like you're trying to make them a little bit more pointy. And then twist the other way, release the ribs you were squeezing and squeeze the other side. So whichever side we're rotating towards, we're going to squeeze a little. And go the other way. Good. And swap. Excellent. And we're going to do about another 4 of these. Just giving them a lovely massage and squeeze. This is helping to tone your diaphragm, release your ribs, and by toning your diaphragm, you're also toning your pelvic floor. So it's a nice simple way to get into our pelvic floor. And then back to the center. Now, pelvises, before we come down to the floor and do the rest of our stuff on the floor, we are going to come to having our feet hip distance apart. Knees are slightly bent for this first one. And we're going to tilt our pelvis back and tilt our pelvis forward, just nice and slowly. And if you're Wendy, you're not tilting your pelvis anywhere, Wendy. We are not going to do this pelvis tilt, and I've worked out some stuff for you, so I'll be sending it later. So no pelvis tilting at all. Just ignore this one just now for you. This is what's aggravating, and I kind of think I know why now. Now from here, knees are up, and we're going to slide side to side. So if this feels all right for you, Wendy, you can do the side to side, but just go towards your limits. Good. So I'm really pushing it over. Good. It's like a sexy move. I don't know if it is. And then back to the center. We're going to imagine that we're going to lift our hip, or this side of our pelvis up towards our armpit. So we're going to hook it up, and then the other side. So hoking. Good. Excellent. And let's do another 2. Perfect. And then we want to push one side of our pelvis forward and then the other. Now, in order to do this effectively, we can take one of our feet and put it this way, and then come back. So now we're really getting this workout into our pelvis. Good. And let's do another 2. 1, stand. Other side. So same thing, bring the leg round. Good. And another 1. And back to the start. Now, I want us to release our pelvic floor. So we're going to grab a chair. If you've not got a chair, hopefully you've got a chair. If you don't have a chair, You could just watch just now. We'll do this one and we'll come down to the floor. So this one doesn't take too long. And you can watch and do this later when you've got a chair, perhaps. So for this one, there are 2 ways to do the towel. We're going to have a little rolled up towel. Okay, there's 2 ways to do this. If you have a particularly sensitive pelvic floor, for whatever reason, maybe it's really, really hypertonic, then you can put the towel across the chair so it's going this direction. And then if you were going to sit on it, you'd sit with your sit bones just behind the towel. So the sit bones are just behind the towel, and this gives you less impact on the actual pelvic floor. However, for the best release, if you take the towel and turn it so it is facing lengthways, so you're going to put your butt cheeks on either side. So you're going to sit on it with your butt cheeks on either side. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just tuck our tailbone under and come forwards. And again, not for you, Wendy, this one, so don't tuck. I think I've got it. Good, I've written you an essay. And then kind of backwards and forwards. Take it nice and slowly and gradually. If it feels quite tight, go really, really slow. Then come back to the center. Now I'd like you to drop one butt cheek off onto the chair, the other one will lift up, and then go the other way. Butt cheek down, butt cheek up. Side to side. So we're getting a nice stretch through any tension. I guess stretch isn't great. Length, release, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, then we're going to come back to the center. We're going to tuck our tailbone under and we're going to roll around one way, like we're going around a clock, like we're doing the pelvic clock, but for our vulvas. Roll around, and then go the other way. Good. And nice big circles. And then come back to the center. Take the towel away and just notice if you notice any difference in your pelvic floor. We should have tested first. Hopefully you feel some release. And now we're going to use the same towel on the floor for our sacrum. So we're going to come down onto the floor now, moving your chest out of the way. And the rest of what we're doing is on the floor. So before you get to the floor, you're going to need this wee towel, but then you're also going to need a bigger towel. So the wee towel will probably do, but a bigger towel is helpful. Or a foam roller if you have a wee one. A wee diameter one. So we're going to come to the floor and we're going to do the same thing here. But before we do it, I'd like you just to come and lie on your back and notice how your pelvis feels. Good. And then we're going to take our towel and we're going to put it so it is going along our sacrum, from our back towards our coccyx. And we're going to lie on it. Good. Okay. Now that you're on top of it, we're going to slide our pelvis from side to side. Once you get here, make sure you bend your knees, feet are flat on the floor. So once you get on top of your towel, you're going to slide from side to side, or shimmy as I call it. And you can go slowly, or you can go quite fast, but you're just like traversing the top of the towel. So you want it going the other direction, D, so it's going from your, so it's going, yes, that way around, yes. Yeah, so your butt cheeks are on either side. Yeah, good. Slide from side to side, good adaptation of a pool noodle there. Good. And then come to the center. And then we're going to drop one side of your pelvis onto the floor. The other side will come up. We're going to stretch that leg nice and long. So we've got one leg fully on the floor, the other butt cheek is up off the floor. We're going to tilt our foot out. Our whole leg is going to tilt out and then in. We're going to direct it from the foot. So my foot is turning out, my foot is turning in. My foot is turning out and turning in. Turning out, turning in. And we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bringing that leg back up. This time the other side is going to go off the towel onto the floor. Slide the other leg down and turn the foot in and out.
In and out. Good, and just really enjoy the sensation. What we're doing here actually is creating length in our psoas muscle, which can be a tricksy muscle. So we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg back up so we're even. Then we're going to tilt our pelvis back, drop one side of our pelvis off, and tilt our pelvis forward. If you're not tilting your pelvis, you can do the shimmy from side to side again. So just going from side to side across the top of the towel instead of doing the pelvic clock, if it might aggravate your sciatic nerve. And then come back the other way, same thing. Nice rotation. Good. And then back to the center. And we're going to shimmy across the top again, or go from side to side. So same thing, so we're gliding across the top with a little bit of pressure. You can go quite fast or slow. Now take the towel away. And just notice how the back of your pelvis feels. Hopefully it feels flatter. And then for our next one, we're going to take our long towel and we're going to lie on it so it's going this way. Through your pelvis. Now, I often get asked how you know where to put it. The best way to know how to put these things is when you bring one leg up and the other leg up, you don't fall off it. We don't want it on your lower back. It's not right on your coccyx. It's halfway up your pelvis. Once you're here, before you lift your legs or anything, I'd like you to think about sinking your ribcage down towards the floor. So trying to sink your ribcage down towards the floor a little. Then you're going to take one leg up and relax the calf towards the thighs and then the other leg up. Good. Then from here, with our knees together, our feet together, we're going to tilt our pelvis over to one side. Now I'm going to tilt towards you so I can show you what we're going to do. Then we're going to imagine we've got a pencil between our knees and we're going to draw a little circle in the sky with our pencil, but off to that side. And we're going to do 5 rotations one way and then 5 rotations back the other way. Relax your legs down, so you don't want to be holding them in a tabletop position, just relax them. Good. Then from here, we're going to keep the middle leg, the leg closest to the center still, and we're just going to move the bottom one. Again, 5 circles one way, and then 5 circles back the other way. And then we're going to bring both the legs together, and we're going to go for a little walk. Good. So make sure your calves are on the backs of your thighs. So we don't want to be going for a little walk like we've got our legs really high in the sky. Good, relax your legs down. And then knees together, feet together. So we're just relaxing. I don't mean relax them to the floor, I just mean take the calves and place them towards your thighs. So we're not up in a tabletop position like this, because it's kind of a stress position, we just want to relax. Then knees together, feet together, take a nice breath here. And then roll over to the other side. It's the same thing. We want to think about the pencil between our knees. And we're going to do 5 rotations one way. And 5 rotations back the other way. And breathing while you do this, remember not to hold your breath. And then keeping the middle leg still, you're going to rotate the bottom leg, 5 rotations one way. And then 5 rotations back the other way. And then bring both your legs together and go for a little march. Good. And then legs together, feet together, and just hang here. And take a nice deep breath. And exhale. And then come back to the center. One foot down, other foot down. And release. Good. Now we've still got to do our feet because we didn't do our feet earlier. So what we're going to do for our feet here is we're going to lengthen our legs along the mat and we're going to point and then flex them. Point and flex. Point and flex. And then you're going to do big circles. So really big circles with your ankles. So really pointing your feet at the bottom, really pulling them back as you come around in your circle. And we're going to do 5 one way and then go back the opposite way. So ankle circles in the opposite direction. Excellent. Cool. Then coming back to lying on our backs the way we were at the beginning, just nice and relaxed. I'd like you to take a moment to run through your body again. So you're going to do another body scan, and I'd like you to notice what you feel's changed. So again, how do your toes feel and your feet and your ankles and your calves, the backs of your knees? If you're closing your eyes as you move up to your thighs, do you feel that your thighs feel more connected to your pelvis now? And then your pelvic floor, your pelvis itself, your back, your shoulders, your neck, your ears, your face. And now just in this position, you're going to take 3 breaths again in your own time, and then an apnea, and just notice if you feel any difference. So 3 nice slow breaths. And once you've finished those 3 breaths in your apnea, when you're ready, you're going to bend your knees, roll onto your side and push yourself up to sitting. But take your time. You